Hello and welcome. This is Jessica with Skilled Womanhood. Today I'm going to teach you how to repair a hole in the deck. This is something you can do yourself. If you have the right tools, you can definitely get through it. So this is the hole. This is definitely a high traffic area, and it's right in the way. So when I assess the board, you can see that we've got this span right here between, there's a joist running underneath. So you could definitely cut this piece out. But I noticed also that there was this fracture, this split, so I'm gonna fix it from here to here. So the first thing that I need to do is I need to measure how thick the board is, because I'm gonna have to plane this piece of cedar that I have found. So what it looks like to me, looks like a lean 1 inch, so I'm just gonna do just shy of 1 inch. So I've measured out the cedar board, and it looks like it is exactly the lean 1 inch that I need, because if you're doing a deck, you don't want to have an oddball size board sticking up above the rest. So you want to make sure that they're all the same. But for the sake of aesthetics, I'm just going to run it through the planer a couple times just to knock off some of the old sunburnt look. So I'm going to run it through before I actually cut it to size. So now I'm going to cut off a block here. This is quite a neat pro tip. So right now I'm going to be putting it at a slight angle. I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Very good. Okay, that's locked down. It's very, very slight, but this is going to help that board fit snug. Okay, so this is how I've seen it done before. I've seen people take a 90-degree angle on a board and situate it just where they want to make the cut, because once again we have to take this piece out. So they would put it like this and they would screw it onto this side, and this is a good board, so you don't want to put holes in the good board. So instead, because we've got a good situation here. Like if this was totally broken out, it would be more difficult, but because we can, I'm going to be taking this beveled side, okay, that slight 5-degree, and I'm going to be walking it right where I want it to be. Like this board is going to have a bevel back, a slight 5-degree, okay? I want to make this really clear because I don't know if you picked this up during the instruction. So this is my diagram. So just take a good long look at it. We're going to go slow through this. Number 1, this is the first board. This is the busted board. And I had to see where all the joists were. Of course, I got 2 more joists here. But as far as the span of where it's busted, I needed to find that next joist because I was going to cut it on the joist because I need to have backing so I can nail a new board. Okay. The next thing, I took that little scrap piece of board and then I screwed it in to the busted part. I took my multi-tool and I angled it. Remember, I butted this right up where I wanted it to be, that it would go over the joist. And then I did the multi-tool and I cut it through this board all the way through. So I can see my joist here. I'm nicely lined up. I don't want to get it too close because I don't want the multi-tool to go at an angle and cut into these nails. So I'm going to put a couple screws in this. This looks good. Looks nice, straight. Looks flush on both sides. Is it flush? Hold up. That feels flush. Okay, I'm gonna do 2 just so it doesn't swivel around. Perfect. Now I'm going to take my multi-tool. This is really handy. It's used for a lot of different things. I'm going to be placing this right along that beveled edge of the board and letting it rest right at that angle and cutting it down, okay? Feels good. Okay, we're gonna go easy over here. That looks good. It's coming out fine. Magnetic stud buddy that I'm gonna put my nails on. Don't want to lose those. Okay. Then here you can see where the cut is down to the joist. It should be more center in my drawing. You want it to be as center on that joist as possible because you got to have backing. Then I had to cut this piece out and I measured 27 1/4. Okay. So let's see what we got here. It's 27 1/4. Okay. 27 1/4, which is just a little, going to be a little snug. Okay, so now I have to bring this back to 90 degrees. Okay, wait there. It's all lock in. Lock in. Right at 0. Okay, that's good. Look, I'm looking at this board. You see, I've got these fractures here, these splits. So I'm going to cut it right about here, just to clean that side up. I'm going to think about which side do I want that bevel to be on. So it's 27 1/4, right? So I need to factor in my pencil mark, the thickness of the blade. Like, I don't want to cut it shy. I don't want it to be less than 27 1/4. So I'm going to be mindful of that and kind of do a little bit fat. I've got it about at 27 3/8 because I'm also going to be beveling that back, right? So I want it to go this way. Sometimes, so I know which side I'm going to do the bevel, right? I'm going to be doing it like that because I don't want to screw up this cut, okay? Because this is the only board we have at this time. I'm going to let the other side be at 90 degrees, but I need this side to be right. So this is important to cut. Really important to cut. Okay, is everybody ready? I'm making the cut. I always get a little nervous when I make the cut. All right, gang. So I'm going to slip that side right up there, butt this in. And that should fit nice. Okay, here we go. Okay, we're going to try it out, see how it fits. Okay, it's definitely fat. So I'm going to scribe that. Scribing just means you use your pencil to make the mark rather than do an exact measurement. Okay, so I got to cut that off, that much off. Here, I made the cut. This is 90 at this end, and this is that bevel to match this bevel. When I put the board in, I had to put this side in first, the 90, and then press this in. If I tried to do this and press that side in, it wouldn't work. It was too tight. That's the cool thing about doing a bevel, is that it's so snug, you can only put it in one way. Okay, so I cut the piece to size. when I first put it in, the only thing I noticed was there was the tiniest little fuzz here that I had to sandpaper off. So I just sandpapered it off, and now it fits perfectly. So I'm going to tuck it in on the 90-degree side first, and then drop it in on the bevel side. Boy, that fits so nice. The only thing is this board was slightly twisted sitting out in the sun, but we're going to pound it in place. We're going to make it work. Yes, it's perfect. It looks good. Okay, so because I am doing a repair on an existing deck, I'm noticing some of the patterns of how it's been laid down. So I'm noticing at the end of the board there are 3 nails. So I'm going to drive another nail here to make this 3 because this is now an end. I'm going to put 3 here, 2, 2, and 3. And again, I don't want to split this cedar. I don't know its integrity because it's been sitting out in the sun for a while. Don't want it to split, especially at the end. So I'm definitely going to pre-drill holes for the nails. Okay. I don't want it to be the exact size because then the nail won't hold, but I don't want it to be so narrow that it's hard for me to drive it. Check that. So on this end here, just like I did here, I didn't explain it, you're going to want to do a slight angle in because I want to make sure I'm hitting the joist well. Okay, because I don't want to pound a bunch of hammer holes on this, I'm going to get my nail set. So I already had like a little bung right there. I don't want to show the signs of the hammer. It just looks bad. Boy, that looks like a beautiful repair. Yeah, so I'm going to set these. And we are just about done here. So the last thing that I need to do is set the nails. I do not want to have, like I said, hammer holes all over it. You just pound it to death. So you take a nail set and you're just going to put it right on top of the nail. Drive it down. It works real nice. I also keep a little bit of sandpaper just in case I want to sand out any scuffs where it looks kind of bad. So I couldn't be more pleased with how it turned out. It looks gorgeous, it looks professional, but of course we are homemakers here and we don't have to be super professional, but for those of you who want to be, there you go. So this is Jessica with Skilled Womanhood. Get skills, get to it, have a great day. So here's the addendum to this video. I mentioned that I would seek out alternative ways to do this project if you do not have a multi-tool. I have learned from a builder who has been building for 50 years, and what they said is that if you don't have a multi-tool, you want to get a skill saw and you want to set it at a low depth, and you want to be careful that you don't cut through the boards on the side, but you want to try to cut a straight line through the board and then leave 2 sides, and then you're going to chisel that out. So that's how they used to do it in an old school way. I think a multi-tool is way easier, especially if you're going to do the bevel. I hope you can pick up all the different skill sets that are included in repairing a deck board. All right. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye.